What's up, everybody? It's the Alex Leak and Friends NFL podcast, back for another week. I'm your host, Alex Leak. This is the 2021 Week 1 Sunday Night Football recap, Bears at Rams. I gave myself a little bit of time to calm down because this game really pissed me off, and I was just not happy. And I knew it going into the game that it wasn't going to be pretty. I said that last week. I predicted the score to be like 23-10 or 26-10 Rams. I didn't expect anything from this offense, from the Bears offense with Dalton. And somehow, the game was relatively close at halftime and early second half. And somehow I talked myself into and got myself into the game to where I had expectations that, let's fight. At least let's fight and see if we can do something and make it a game, make it respectable. And then that just didn't happen. So that, once the Bears kind of waved the white flag, in my opinion, and threw in the towel, that's when I got upset. I thought it was too early in the game to do so. And we'll get into that here in a second. I mean, we knew it was going to be a tough game against this Rams in their home SoFi Stadium with a packed crowd. The environment was going to be nuts. The Rams, are a great, number one defense in football last year. They lost their defensive coordinator and a couple pieces in, Michael Brockers, Samson Ebukam, John Johnson III. But nothing, they should still be top five. And so I knew it was going to be tough. They added Stafford on offense, so their offense should be better compared to Goff and John Wolford last year. So we knew it was going to be a tough game. It also hurt that Eddie Goldman couldn't play in this game. No Brashad Perriman and no Duke Shelley as well. But I mean, we'll get into all that. I just feel like it was way more than not having Goldman. And I want to point directly to coaching, but, let's get into this thing. First things first, the Bears get the ball. And David Montgomery's first touch of the game, he breaks free for a 41-yard run down to the Rams' 12-yard line. I've been saying this since his rookie year. I loved him when we drafted him out of Iowa State. He was a tackle-breaking machine in college. And rookie year, I started tweeting #FeedMontgomery. And he's a future star, in my opinion, who just needs more touches. And to see him break free for a 41-yarder, solid job by the offensive line there. And, Montgomery was doing his thing right off the bat. Justin Fields comes in for a play on that first drive, the rookie quarterback, and throws for a 9-yard completion to Marquise Goodwin down to the Rams' 3-yard line. And, you get down to the 3, you're expecting to score. Whether Nagy fucks it up and you only get 3 points, but you're at least trying to get 7 there. Then a false start on Cole Kmet, so a penalty pushes us back to the 8-yard line, 3rd and 6. Not great. You can't have penalties down there. That hurts. And then it forces you into a pass situation. We could have run it again with Montgomery. Instead, we got to pass it because of that false start. Dalton forces it into the end zone. It gets tipped and then intercepted by corner David Long in the end zone. So right off the bat, 0 points. A good drive, 0 points to show for it. That's Andy Dalton for you. That's what I tweeted right then. I'm like, Andy Dalton, ladies and gentlemen, because Andy Dalton has a ceiling. He's a check down. He's Johnny check down. He doesn't have a deep ball. He's not that guy. He never really has been that guy, but he had a little bit of it in Cincinnati with A.J. Green and those guys, but he doesn't have it anymore. He's strictly Johnny check down. He doesn't bring any, upside to the offense. He's just a game manager at this point. And so if he's a game manager and on top of that turning the ball over, especially in the red zone, what good is he? That's my question right now. What good is Andy Dalton for us? And that turnover off the bat, it's like, oh man, like exactly what I expected. So the Rams take over, and Matthew Stafford's second pass of the game completes a deep ball to wide receiver Van Jefferson. who potential future star Van Jefferson, I'm a big fan, falls down as he makes the catch. And I'm going to put a pic up on this video so you guys can see it. Both safeties, Eddie Jackson and Tashawn Gibson, are right there as he's on the ground. And everyone knows, and these guys should know, they're veteran safeties, been in the league a long time. This isn't college. You got to touch the receiver down. He's not down just because he falls on the ground. They don't, for whatever reason, I'll never understand. And Van Jefferson gets up and runs the rest of the way in for a touchdown. Inexcusable, man. This is the regular season now. It's no longer the preseason. Everything matters. That's on tape now. What are you guys doing? What in the hell were Eddie Jackson and Tashawn Gibson thinking on that play? Not only does the secondary get beat and torched, so he's wide open for a big-time catch, and then you just run past him as he's on the ground. Unacceptable, unreal, mind-blowing, to be honest, because I don't get it. It just, I don't know. Brain-neutral play, and unacceptable. And mental mistake cost the Bears. Now they're down 7-0. I mean, it's one thing to give up a big pass play, but you can't let them get up and just run in for a touchdown. You got to tap them down there and then play defense and maybe hold them to 3 or maybe get a takeaway. Just no fight in this team all night long, man. Very disheartening, very frustrating. And I don't know, I've had some conversations about, is Nagy losing the locker room? Do these players even care? Man, it is way, way, way too early in the season. Week 1. Opening drive defensively for that to happen. Like, we could be in for a long, long season if that's the case. But anyway, so a terrible start, down 7-0. So then the Bears get the ball. David Montgomery, his next run, he goes for 14 yards and a first down, showing explosiveness right out the gate. David Montgomery, feed David Montgomery. I don't know how many times or different ways I can say it, but 2 carries and he's got over 50 yards. I mean, put the ball in his hands. He's one of the best young players on this team. And for whatever reason, Nagy doesn't like to. He's got those 2 runs, and then he doesn't really feed him much more. Dalton completes back-to-back passes to Allen Robinson, Cole Kmet, but they're not chunk plays. They're 8 yards, 7 yards, 10 yards at most down the field. Not much. Then on 3rd and 8, Dalton completes a short pass to Damian Williams, what he's been doing all night, 4 yards. On 3rd and 8, mind you. So it sets up 4th and 4 at the LA 41-yard line. It's a spot where I don't hate going for it, but this early in the game, if our defense was better, then I would say, punt it and play defense. Pin them deep and play the field position game, but, our defense didn't do shit all night. So Nagy decides to go for it on 4th and 4. And Dalton's pass to Allen Robinson, a simple slant. He's defended by one of the best corners in football, Jalen Ramsey, who bats it down and turnover on downs. Credit to Jalen Ramsey, great defensive play. But 2 drives in for the Bears, moving the ball, 0 points to show for it. That's the Nagy offense in a nutshell, and that's Andy Dalton in a nutshell. You're not going to get much out of, I tried saying it a bunch of different ways, Nagy and Dalton combination is terrible. It's not just Andy Dalton. It's not just Matt Nagy. It's the combination of the 2 is awful. And it's not going to yield much. And I know some of you are going to be like, Dalton had a pretty good game. No, he did not. And stop that right now. He did not. He is what he is. He's Johnny Checkdown. And in today's NFL, that's not enough. You can't win with Kyle Orton anymore in the NFL. You have to have a real quarterback that can move the ball down the field, take big shots, open the field up. The Rams were sitting back on the deep ball, allowing all the underneath stuff and tackling. It's simple defense. Anyways, fired up. So turnover on downs, then Stafford completes an 18-yard pass to veteran receiver Deshaun Jackson. And then the Rams are forced to settle for a 53-yard field goal. But they trust their kicker here, and he knocks in a 53-yarder. Rams are up double digits just like that, 10-0. Then Dalton completes a 19-yarder to Marquise Goodwin. Add a 15-yard face mask penalty on top of that, so it's a good chunk, down the field. Nagy again, we get in fourth down. Can't convert on third down, so Nagy again decides to go for it on 4th and 4 at the LA 38-yard line. Now this is borderline field goal range. This would be a 55-yarder. Cairo Santos had a hell of a year last year. Broke the record by Robbie Gould for consecutive made field goals. He hit a 51-yarder, I believe, in preseason. He can make these kicks. Nagy says, no, we're not going to try a field goal here. No long field goal. We're going to go for it on 4th and 4 again. After we just got stopped on 4th and 4, the last possession. Goes for it, and he's strip-sacked by linebacker Justin Hollins, and the Rams recover. 3 possessions now, Matt Nagy. Count them. 3, 0 points. That shit does not work. You're not going to win any football games scoring 0 points when on drives where you're in position to score. To go for it twice and get nothing, just unacceptable, man. I would have kicked it here. I mean, it's a tough decision. You could go for it, but considering you went for it last time and didn't get it, this time you're in actual field goal range instead of at your 41. You're at the 38. You can make a 55-yarder. I might have tried it there. People act like points grow on trees. They most certainly don't. I've seen it in the league the entire week 1. You got to take advantage of opportunities to score. People say, field goals, you can't win kicking field goals in this league. Well, you can't win with 0. You can't win not scoring anything with turnover on downs either. So anyways, 10-0, three possessions, 0 points. Sean McVay, on his end, he's aggressive. He goes for it on 4th and 1 at the Bears 32. This is something I'm much more inclined to do. 4th and 1 on the 32, or you kick it. But being 4th and 1 is much more manageable to convert. You can run it on 4th and 1. I don't necessarily believe you can run the ball on 4th and 4. And so the Rams don't. They do play action on 4th and 1, which the Bears bite on the run fake. And Stafford rolls out and makes a nice throw and gets Van Jefferson for 13 yards and a first down, keeps the drive alive. One of the biggest things is missed tackles plaguing the Bears defense early and throughout this game. Defense lacking discipline and fundamentals, just terrible. Awful effort. Awful, just nothing there. Very poor tackling, very poor effort, very poor fundamentals, just terrible. So then, let's see here. Bears defense forces the Rams. They stop them in the red zone on the goal to go situation. Matt Gay attempts a 22-yard field goal, very short field goal attempt, makes it. So it's 13-0 Rams. Early second quarter. On 3rd and 2, Dalton passed to Allen Robinson. Allen Robinson's clearly interfered with, clearly hit before the ball arrives, but no flag is thrown. I'm not going to put this game on the officials. That was just one penalty there that could have kept that drive alive. It didn't get it. So the Bears punt this time on 4th and 2. Finally. On 2nd and 9, Bears, so we pin them deep. We pin the Rams deep. On 2nd and 9, Bears defensive tackle Akeem Hicks gets to Matthew Stafford, sacks him, sets up 3rd and 18. Rams can't pick up the first down, so they're forced to punt. Then the Bears, they go to David Montgomery for once. Montgomery's averaging like 25 yards a carry at this point. They go to Montgomery. He rushes for 10 yards, getting chunk runs against the LA defense. Not enough carries. Why can't we commit to feeding David Montgomery, one of the best players on the team? Why can't we play through the running game that the Rams are clearly allowing, and then that'll open up more pass options? But instead, no, hard-headed Nagy, he's got to just throw it all the time. Can't feed David Montgomery, who's clearly hot to start this game. So anyways, Montgomery at this point averaging 19 yards per carry, and Nagy stops calling his number. Why? Us fans will never know. The Chicago Bears media is like, what the hell? 6 carries for 71 yards at this point. On 3rd and 1, the Bears do give it to David Montgomery at the 2-yard line, and he rushes in. 2-yard touchdown, cuts the lead in half, and now the Bears are trailing 13-7. So the Rams take a 13-7 lead into halftime. And surprisingly, to the shock of everyone, especially me, I look at the scoreboard at halftime, I'm like, damn, like the Bears are still in this game. The defense is keeping the score down. They had one major blown assignment. And they're still in this game. It's 13-7. So within one score, you're like, hey, who knows? Maybe we can keep this game competitive at least and see what happens. So let's go to the second half. First possession of the second half, the Bears have major miscommunication in the secondary. I'll have a picture of this on the episode. They leave wide receiver Cooper Kupp wide open downfield. Stafford fires a 56-yard touchdown pass to Cooper Kupp, and the Rams take a 20-7 lead on the first possession of the second half. But just like that, you're down 2 scores. Inexcusable defense. To leave the Rams' number 1 wide receiver this extremely wide open. Al Michaels on the call said wide open 3 times. He's like, wide open. I mean, my God. You can see on the picture, there's barely any Bears defenders in the shot. Like, it's unreal. It reminds me only of, what's that dude? Chris Connie against the Packers, week 17 to go to the playoffs. And there's 3 of them, and it's like Eddie Jackson and Tashawn Gibson. It's like, where's the communication, man? Like, what the hell is our secondary doing? Like, I know we lost Kyle Fuller, and that's a major loss. And maybe I'm sure he was probably the leader of the secondary. But Eddie Jackson and Tashawn Gibson are 2 veterans that have played elite defense in the past. At least, I mean, where's the leadership? Where's the communication? What the hell is that? On national TV, like, that's just straight up embarrassing. Like, losing, badly is embarrassing, but that right there is as bad as it gets for a Chicago Bears defense that's supposed to be known for taking pride in that side of the ball. Just unacceptable, man. Unreal. The Sunday Night Football camera showed Dick Butkus at the game, and he's not amused. He looks pissed off watching the game, just like us fans, man. It was at that point, it's just like, what the hell are we doing? So then the Bears march down the field with run plays and check down throws with Dalton. They set up rookie Justin Fields on an option keeper, 3-yard touchdown run. Justin Fields' first career touchdown. And so that gets the Bears fans excited. The star rookie, the future of the franchise, runs it in and cuts the lead down to 6. A special moment for Justin Fields, and it keeps the Bears in this game, cuts it to 1 possession. So we're all pretty happy about that. I think that right there was the peak excitement of this game. Like, damn, Fields, look at that. And, like, we're back in this game. Special moment for Justin Fields. Happy for him to get a touchdown in his first career game. 2014 Rams. And then the Bears defense does it again. I mean, it was at this point we knew, like, this defense is just not going to be there tonight. They leave tight end Tyler Higbee wide open for a 37-yard catch and run. And then an 18-yard play to Cooper Kupp. Pass play down to the Bears' 1-yard line. Missed tackles, plaguing the Bears defense. If you can't tackle, you're not going to be a very good defense. And that Eddie Jackson quote, talking to his teammates, saying anybody can tackle. Like, I just don't understand, man. There's some serious issues going on with the Bears organization right now. And we thought it was all on the offensive side of the ball. It clearly isn't. It's clearly an organizational issue. It's hitting the defensive side of the ball too. Like I said, we might be in for a long, long season. So then they get down to the one. Running back Darrell Henderson punches it in on the first attempt. You know, I like to see the defenses like fight back there and maybe potentially hold them to 3 or at least force it to like third down. Nah, first run, touchdown. So then the Rams go up 27-14, and it was like, man, like we're going to need a shootout. We're going to need to put up 28, 30 points to win this. And Dalton at quarterback's just not going to do it. And that's when a lot of you started saying, look, Justin Fields needs to get in this game. He's our only hope to open up the offense. That doesn't happen. So then the Bears march down to the LA 25-yard line. All right. So they're in field goal range at this point, 25-yard line. Dalton takes a big sack by linebacker Justin Hollins. 15-yard sack back to the 40-yard line, out of field goal range now. And it's like, what the hell? But then the next play, so it's third and 25. Dalton picks up 10 yards on a pass to Cole Kmet. So we get to the 30-yard line, right? Much more manageable field goal range, 47 yards. This is absolutely where you kick the ball. I understand you're down 2 touchdowns, but there's 10 minutes left in the game. So kick the field. A lot can happen in 10 minutes. Don't act like you know, oh, the Rams are just going to go score another touchdown on us and run the clock out. You don't know that. Nobody knows that. You play the clock. You play the situation of the game. I know you're down 13, but you're in field goal range. You kick the field goal, and you cut it to 10. And you never know what can happen. A Matthew Stafford fumble, a pick six, an interception, anything can swing momentum. Even that field goal can very slightly turn momentum. And then a turnover, and boom, you're only down 10, and you've got the momentum. You go score a touchdown or a field goal, it's a 1-score game again. Or you score a touchdown, it's a 3-point game. So the fact that some of you are like, I wouldn't kick it here, you're down 2 scores. It's 10 minutes. 10 minutes left in the game. You take the field goal, you cut it to 10. That shows that you're fighting. That shows that you're still trying to win the game. And if it's 4th and 1, if it's 4th and 2, even if it's 4th and 4, maybe I can understand. Because it's manageable. You can pick that up. It's 4th and 15. And Matt Nagy sends the offense back out there and has Dalton throw the ball. He hasn't thrown the ball 15 yards in this entire game. And he throws it. It's out of bounds, not catchable, and it's 12 yards. Even if it's caught, it's a turnover on downs. This is my problem with Matt Nagy. He doesn't understand. He doesn't get it. This is simple. I understand. It's 4th and 15. What do you think the percentages are of Aaron Rodgers and Patrick Mahomes to pick up a 4th and 15? They're not high. And for Andy Dalton, of all people, to pick up a 4th and 15, that's got to be single digits percentage. So kick the field goal. It's makeable. It's 47 yards and cut it to 10 and then go play defense. And you never know what can happen. Instead, 4th and 15, we run the offense back out there. Turnover on downs again. What is this, our 3rd turnover on downs of the game? Maybe our 4th? Like, unacceptable, man. This right here, when that happened, that's when I got pissed. That's when I started going on my tweeting rant saying, this is the white flag. This is giving up. There's no fight in this organization. There's no try. There's no want. There's no pride. 4th and 15. Kick the field goal and at least cut it to 10. My God, man. No, I'm not worried about getting blown out. That's not the goal here. It's to kick it, to cut it to 10, and you never know what can happen. One turnover, one break at 10, boom, now it's 3. and the momentum swung. You turnover on downs there, and you're still down 13, and the Rams get even more momentum because they turned you over on downs for the third effing time. Just, man, I'll never understand that. That blows my mind. And like a lot of people were saying, at least throw the ball 15 yards so that at least give yourself a shot. So that if by some miracle it's caught, then it's a first down. And you convert. But whatever, man. Like, mind blown. And that to me, right there, shows me that this team has no pride, no balls, no respect, no fight. They threw up the white flag, acted like it's a preseason game. They might as well just kneel on the ball. Quarterback kneel. Give it to LA. Unacceptable, man. The Rams get the ball, up 13. They go down. They score another touchdown. Stafford to Robert Woods, and it's 34-14. Missed tackles again. Plague the Bears on this drive. No fight. Like the no fight from the offensive side translates over the defensive side. There's like 3 missed tackles on one play. 34-14. Star Aaron Donald finally gets his sack on Andy Dalton for another turnover on downs. And mercifully, this game comes to an end with the Rams winning 34-14. The loss itself doesn't bother me because I was not optimistic at all coming into this game. It's the way we lost. It's the lack of fight. It's the lack of go down trying, go down giving it your all, trying until the buzzer, trying until the last second to win the game. It's the lack of that shown that pisses the hell out of me. And Nagy's refusal to adjust or admit fault, or more importantly, play the better quarterback. When down 13 or 20, maybe put in the young quarterback who can gain experience with the playing time, and who knows, at least show some flashes, give us some kind of optimism going into week 2. I mean, it should be clear to everyone, and if it's not clear to Matt Nagy and Ryan Pace, then they're blind as bats. But Justin Fields provides you with all the upside, all the potential, all the playmaking ability, and Andy Dalton provides you with none of it. So I'm flabbergasted by this performance and the coaching job and the defensive side of the ball. No pride. Instead, we just march this product out there and get our asses handed to us on national TV. Embarrassing as hell, man. I had a great Sunday watching all the games at the 1 o'clock and the 4 o'clock windows until this shit show at 8 o'clock. And it pretty much almost ruined my Sunday. Like, watching the Bears pissed me off that much. And I hope that they can understand that. And that's why I am kind of excited for the home opener against Cincinnati, because I really hope, and I'm going to watch it for this reason only, I hope the fans boo the hell out of Matt Nagy and this team, man. I really do. I hope they give it to him because they need to hear it. It's unacceptable, man. And it's not just Matt Nagy. It's not just Ryan Pace. It's Ted Phillips. It's George McCaskey. It's the ownership. All the way to the top. Sell the team if you have to. Do something. Like, you want to support a team that you grew up your entire life being a fan of. But we're not the Detroit Lions, and we're starting to perform like it. We're starting to act like it. We're starting to play like it. And the moment my Chicago Bears turn into the Detroit Lions is the moment I'm fucking out the door. Like, I think it's kind of dumb to just be like, support your team with blind faith no matter what. If they're putting forth this kind of effort, trotting out Andy Dalton, not giving a shit about tackling on defense, refusing to feed the one up-and-coming prospect in David Montgomery and refusing to give the starting job to the quarterback that gives you the opportunity to win football games? That's Detroit Lions shit. That's amateur hour. That's high school football. I don't know what it is. I don't have the adjective to describe it, but it's madness. And it's a waste of time to watch and root for. My God. All right. Stats. The Rams, Stafford throws for 321 yards and 3 touchdowns. Cooper Kupp, 7 catches for 108 and a touchdown. Van Jefferson, future star, 2 catches for 80 and a touchdown. Linebacker Justin Hollins, 2 sacks. Rams kicker Matt Gay, 2 for 2 and 4 for 4. 2 for 2 field goals, 4 for 4 extra points. Yeah. So now let's look at the Bears. Andy Dalton, 38 pass attempts, 27 completions for 206 yards, no touchdowns, 1 pick, 1 fumble lost. David Montgomery, 108 rushing yards and a touchdown on just 16 carries. Why the hell David Montgomery can't get 20, 25 rush attempts in a game, I don't understand. And I know we got down big in the fourth quarter, but I just don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to say anymore, man. This is pathetic. It's embarrassing as hell, and it's on national TV. Allen Robinson, the most catches on the team, with 6 for 35 yards. Andy Dalton is Captain Johnny Checkdown. He's not throwing the ball past 10 yards. Not with any accuracy, that's for sure. And then on top of it, he's turning the ball over. What does he give us? Why are we paying him $10 million? And why did we promise him a starting job in March when he's been a backup since 2019? My God, man. Madness, bro. People are talking about the Rams as contenders and using this game to be like, look how good they can be. Look at Matthew Stafford slinging it all over the place. Look, the Rams have a high ceiling, but don't base it on this game. Watch a couple more Rams games before you make that proclamation, because the Bears are not a good test for that, and they played like absolute shit. It might be a really long year for the Bears. I want Justin Fields to start ASAP, but I'm very concerned. The more I see Matt Nagy and this team and this offense, the more I'm worried that Justin Fields, that they'll find some way to mess Justin Fields' development up. And I'm not saying that they are the reason Trubisky didn't turn out, but I won't say that they helped him. Isn't it that job of the head coach, the play caller, those guys, to put you in the best position to succeed and develop and become a franchise quarterback? I do not. I'll say this right now boldly and strongly. I do not believe that Matt Nagy is good for Justin Fields' development. If anything, Justin Fields is the last saving chance for Matt Nagy's head coaching career in Chicago, and that's not the way it should be. You want Justin Fields to be successful, go get a head coach you trust to develop quarterback talent and put him in the best position to succeed. And Matt Nagy's got him coming out here handing the ball off and doing shovel passes for a yard. It's just too much, bro. I don't have the adjectives to describe it, but it's unreal. It's mind-blowing. The defense, man, the Bears' defense looks bad. And I hope they play with better pride and have better performance than they did tonight going forward. But it looks nothing like the monster that it was in 2018. And the lack of heart, the lack of fight that I saw, and the tackling and the effort and the not even touching Van Jefferson down after the catch is not a good sign going forward. And we've already got guys like Robert Quinn who, are getting paid a lot of money for nothing, for no impact. You got, I don't want to say anything about Khalil Mack, but there are questions there. Where was Khalil Mack tonight? I know he's getting doubled. I know they're getting rid of the ball quickly. They're not running it at him, but there's got to be some kind of impact, right? The last time we saw Khalil Mack take over a game was the Bucks game last year on Thursday night, and we haven't seen that in a while. So I don't know, man. I'm at a complete loss with these Chicago Bears. The only good news is that the Packers, Vikings, and Lions all lost today in Week 1, so we're all tied for first at 0-1. But I mean, that gives me no hope for the Bears. Like, I think we're looking at a 5-12 season and another pretty high pick next year. So, stay strong, Bears fans. It might be a long year. For the Rams, they're going to Indy next week on Sunday to take on the 0-1 Colts. Should be a great game. I give the advantage to the Rams the way they look tonight. The Colts didn't look particularly great against the Seahawks. I see no reason why the Rams can't go into Indy, get to 2-0. The Colts have a really tough schedule to start the year. I mean, in some of my predictions, I had them starting like 0-5. So the Colts need to get it together quick. Carson Wentz needs to get it going quick. And the most worrisome thing about the Colts is their defense looked pretty bad against Seattle. So we'll see. The NFL, is week to week. You never know what to expect. But Bears taking on the Bengals on Sunday. That's a winnable game. It is. But the fact that Cincy beat Minnesota, who knows? Maybe the Bears will start 0-2. Maybe the Bengals start 2-0 with Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase and Joe Mixon. But it's a winnable game in Chicago, and we'll see. If Dalton gets a start, maybe Fields gets put out there in the second half if Dalton continues to struggle. But, I can't go in saying I think the Bears are going to win. It wouldn't surprise me if they lost, especially with the way the defense performed tonight. So a lot of questions about the Bears going forward. If you're going to be at that game, Bears fans, and if they look anything like they look tonight, I hope you boo the hell out of them. Let them know you're not happy. 3 and outs, turnover on downs, red zone turnovers. That shit doesn't fly here. Missed tackles, no effort on defense, miscommunication in the secondary. That shit doesn't fly here. We're a proud fucking franchise. Let's act like it and stop accepting mediocrity. And this isn't even fucking mediocrity. This is dog shit. So let's stop accepting dog shit and be passionate fans and show them that we're unhappy. Thanks for checking this episode out, guys. I appreciate your support. Excuse my frustration. I had to vent. I had to get it out there on this one. Appreciate all the support. Don't forget to like, subscribe, leave a comment. We're going to keep these episodes coming out, multiple episodes a week, covering these games, recapping these games, and previewing the next week. So appreciate all y'all. Have a great week, guys. Peace out.